This is what you needed to know to transform your reality by transforming your mindset. And that goes by going under the surface, pulling things from your subconscious, bringing it to the surface so that you can actually process these things. This is the part people forget, the processing and the releasing of the belief that you got going on. And I'm going to show you how to do that right here. I appreciate you subscribing right down at the bottom because you're ready for your transformation and it's happening now. So I've been on this self-development journey for a while now, since 2014, with this manifestation stuff, with the limiting beliefs and releasing that and understanding that more and practicing it. But you know the part that I really didn't understand until much later? Because understand this too, that clearing limiting beliefs and reframing them, that's the bulk of the manifestation process, because that's going to have you in the vibrational frequency to shift into the reality to receive the conscious manifestation anyway. So with that being said, with the beliefs, limiting beliefs that you got going on, and that stuff like, I'm not good enough for love, I can't have money, my life sucks, nothing good ever happens to me. So limiting beliefs like that. And the way that you're going to tell that you have a limiting belief is when something in your reality happens, sometimes you'll be triggered. When you are in traffic and you got that little road rage coming up, okay, you're triggered. You have a core limiting belief that is coming up right now. So the first step is identifying the limiting belief that you got going on. And you can identify it by asking why. So when you are feeling really upset or you're feeling this anxiety, say that you're in a group of friends, and this happened to me. I was in a group with my family and everybody was talking and I just felt some type of way. Like I was just getting triggered. It triggered this anxiety in me. And I could have sat there and just been like, oh, this is just how it is. This always just happens. Or I can start asking why. And this is what I did. It's like, why am I feeling this anxiety? Because things aren't working out for me. Okay, why aren't things working out for me? Because I feel alone. Okay, so why is it so bad that I feel alone? Because nothing will ever happen for me. Why is it so scary if nothing ever happens to me? Because I won't have a good life. Okay, so now, and you keep going down in the layers and you know you hit the sweet spot. You struck gold when you're that emotion, when it's bringing up even more emotion for you. Then you can tell, okay, wow. So what you can do that when you're triggered. You can do that when you're not triggered by just asking yourself those questions. Like, start asking yourself if you're consciously manifesting just having a positive life. You can say, okay, why am I so triggered when I'm around groups of people? Okay, so and then just start there. I mean, you could be doing this in your home, not even being around people. Just ask yourself this: why am I so triggered around people? Okay, because I'm not good with people. Okay, why are you not good with people? Because I didn't grow up that way. Okay, why is it so bad that you didn't grow up around people? Because I'll never learn anything. Okay, and then keep going and keep going. And when you're doing it this way, you will know you hit the sweet spot when you have that emotion come up. And when that emotion comes up, that is when you can start processing it. And the way you process it is you start asking yourself, when was the first time I felt alone? So as you're doing the identifying, and that last thing that you leave on, where if it's like the last thing you done was I'm alone. Okay, When was the first time you felt alone? When did you feel alone in your childhood? Oh, when I was 5 years old, I felt alone. I felt alone because I didn't have any friends in school. Jenny didn't want to be my friend. Okay, so put that down and start processing it. And then what did that teach you in that moment? What did that show you in that moment? Did it show you that I'm not good enough to have friends? I'm not good enough to get attention? What did that show you in that moment? And that's how you're processing it. And this other part, make a mental note of it, because this right here, it took me a while to really understand this part with the emotion, y'all. The emotion of it all. This is the releasing part. So whenever this stuff happens, whenever that emotion comes up, so whether you're triggered or if you're identifying it and then you hit that sweet spot and that emotion comes up, what do you feel in your body? Like, where are you feeling that at? I know for myself, like when I am doing identifying limiting beliefs around like social situations and confidence and all of that stuff, I feel it like right here for some reason, right here and right in here and here. I feel like a tingly sensation. It's just like I don't know how to describe it. I can feel it in those two parts stronger for certain things. And so like, where are you feeling it in your body? Where are you feeling that stuck energy? So start to be aware of that and notice it. And what you can start doing is breathing, doing some breathing, breath work to really just release it. Because it's not, and this is something that I found really interesting. And it was something that it just wasn't clicking for me. Because before I used to think that releasing, I didn't really even know the significance of it. The releasing part. Like, it's actually a whole thing, a whole emotional thing. And it doesn't involve you doing too much thinking, though. And that's what I used to think. I used to think that releasing meant you had to think more and do more digging, do more processing. But that's not it. There's not really deep thinking involved with it. It's just you paying attention to your body, where this stuck energy is. Where are you feeling it in your body? And releasing it, doing some breath work and releasing that stuck energy. That's what it is. So that emotion, that emotion in your body, the way that your body is reacting, because it's one thing to do the processing mentally. And then it's another thing to physically release. Because as much as this conscious manifestation stuff is mental, it is very much physical as well. That's why if you have a limiting belief of I'm not good, it can manifest in your body, where you can have maybe heart pains or chest pains. It's very much physical as much as the mental. So that's why really mind, body, and soul. So really, when you're doing this emotion part, the releasing, think about just releasing emotion. Just say that, releasing emotion, and it just makes more sense. And then after you release the emotion, by doing what I said, y'all, which is identifying. So really just sit down somewhere in a quiet place, relax. So you went through the first step, a couple steps, or a few steps, and then you're going to sit down. See where you're feeling that at in your body. So be aware of it. Do some breath work. There are many breathing techniques that you can do. Pick one. So, and breathe in, breathe out, and you're breathing out all that stuck energy. Then what you're going to do is reframe the belief. So if you were on I'm always alone, then this is the part where you can reframe it, where you're saying, things are working out for me. I'm always being supported. So whatever affirmation or whatever reframe that feels good to you, just put it there and start telling yourself this new story. Like, go a little deeper. Okay? I'm always being supported, and day by day I'm seeing more support in my finances. I'm seeing more support in my friendships. I'm seeing more support, and I'm seeing more people excited to talk to me. I'm feeling that support, and I'm feeling the love around me. Start telling yourself that new story. And this is all part of the manifestation process, because this makes you a vibrational frequency to your manifestation, to your goal, to your desire. And you shift into the reality where you have this stuff. And it's that simple. So notice when you're triggered. When you're out and about, you're going to see, like, oh, you're triggered by something. It could be something as simple as you're watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and then just seeing them in their mansion. It triggers you. Why do they get to be in a mansion? People don't live like this. Okay, you're triggered, obviously. So then start that process. Identify why you're triggered, right? And even if you turn the TV off and you're just sitting down and you're just journaling, ask yourself the questions, the tough questions, to dig deep. Why do I believe I can't have money? Why do I believe that life never works out for me? Why? So just ask yourself that, and then you'll get to the sweet spot. We talked about that, the sweet spot, where that emotion will come out. That's when you know you X marks the spot. And I found that so fascinating when that happens. It's like, okay, I'm journaling and I'm feeling all right. And then I keep asking myself these questions. Why isn't life working out for me? Because it sucks. Why does it suck? Because I'm not good enough. Okay? Why is it so scary that you're not good enough? Because I'll never be the person I desire to be. And then you keep going, and you're going to feel an emotion. Something is going to come up for you. Now, this is not something you want to just breeze by. This is something that you want to really sit there and actually dig deep, so that this stuff can come up. In the sweet spot, an emotion comes up. It's going to feel like a kind of like a volcano. It's going to come up. It's going to come up to the surface. And then you may start crying. You may start whatever type of emotion. It's going to erupt, right? So start doing that. Let me know how this technique works out for you. Because when I started really understanding this stuff, I started to notice how much I'm actually being triggered in my reality, and seeing what emotion keeps coming up for me. Like, why am I triggered when a group of people are talking, right? Why am I triggered by these certain things? Why am I triggered if my journals are not a certain way? Why am I triggered by this stuff? Really ask yourself that. Why am I triggered if somebody asks me a certain question? You're triggered by these different things. You could go on TikTok and be scrolling, and then somebody triggers you on a video. Okay, that's your time to start doing this. Why are you triggered? Why? Because that emotion's coming up for a reason. What happens a lot of times is the emotion comes up, and then you don't do anything about it. It doesn't go away. This stuff does not, there's no magic, it's not magic. You have to do something for this to be released, right? Unless you have an automatic perception shift, which takes that self-awareness. So you got to be self-aware to even get that type of thing. So if it comes up, it's good. It's not a bad thing. You don't want that volcano that's about to erupt to go back down, right? We want it to come up to the surface and then release it. not suck it back down and keep building it. Because you can see it like this. If you have a cup of water and you keep pouring water in it, you have a cup, there's no water in it, and then you keep pouring more water in it day after day, what is it going to do? It's going to overflow. It's going to spill. You can't fit nothing else in your cup. That's what this stuff does. When you keep on packing your emotions back down, you feel anxiety, pack it down. Feel anxiety, pack it down. Then all of a sudden, boom, you got depression. Well, that's why that depression is coming on, because this stuff is not addressed. And I get how that can be. I went through it. And then I was able to reflect later on in life as I learned this stuff, like, oh, well, dang, that's how I got that depression. It wasn't just, because when you're younger, you got to think about it. You don't know these tools. 9 times out of 10, you don't know these tools. So how do you face things when you're younger? How did I face things when I was younger and in middle school? Because I felt like, oh, I'm not popular. I didn't fit in with the cool kids. Like, people were not the nicest. Like, what do you do? Well, you feel anxiety, you feel more anxiety, you feel mad, and nothing is done to it. You just escape it, which is what I tried. Basically what I did when I was younger, and I was just obsessed with anime and obsessed with rock music and obsessed with all this different stuff. And I never actually addressed what the actual issue was. So even if you get to a point where you're like, oh, well, I don't feel that depression anymore, so now I'm done. And it's gone. And then you didn't do anything, it's still there. And it's going to come back up. That's what happened for me. After middle school, it kind of like subsided. So I thought, like, well, I guess it's gone. Oh, but it wasn't, because it came right back up in college. It doesn't disappear, y'all. And that's what I really want you to understand. This stuff it's there for a reason. You can try to put masks and mirrors and all types of things over it, but it doesn't change the fact that it's there. Now, how much of a priority is it for you to shift certain triggers and emotions is up to you, because some may be like not a priority. Like if you're scared of a bee, that may not be a priority to really go deeper into that. But if you're in a social situation and you can't go up and talk to somebody, that may trigger you more and be impeding on the desire that you have on being the version of yourself that you want. So that's something that may be more important. So then you actually want to go into that. Do you see what I'm saying? So I know you got so much out of this, and I appreciate you for watching this video and getting your breakthrough. I want to know right down at the bottom how you felt when you did this technique. And did you even know about this technique? And I appreciate you again for watching this video and seeing my other videos, because I know you are getting that transformation. You are on the right track. Believe it for yourself, because you are. Trust me. I'll see you in the next video.